When I saw that,
great, isn't it?
when I saw when he was in Zhang's uniform, and then the next thing you know, there's no sleeves, I laughed so hard at that. And my daughter was with me, and when they were getting the naval uniform, she's like, "Oh, please, Pete, please have him cut off the sleeves." And he did not.
Sure enough, they do not disappoint. Hello and welcome to Our Flag Means Fan Fiction. Today we are talking about our favorite whittler, the man who has perfect aim, Blackbeard's right-hand man. That is right, it is the Blackbeard episode. Woohoo!
Yay!
And on the pod this week with me is Gutis, who doesn't brag about things but can actually do them all. Say hello, Gutis.
Hello.
And we've got Judy, who didn't even know piracy was happening. Say hello, Judy.
Hello.
And I am Belle, your horny imp, who can relate to Black Pete, because I myself am a big old braggart. So I definitely, I relate to him deeply. I love to tell stories. And we'll kick this off, as we always do, with our question. What's the most gay pirate thing that's happened to you lately? Gutis, go ahead.
Well, we're recording this right after Phantom Trump's Hate has finished, which, if people aren't familiar, a big thing that happens every year, a big multi-fandom charity event. And yeah, I put in a few offers for people to make them podfics, and raised over $100 just on my own with those, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I feel like that's pretty gay pirate.
That's really good.
That's awesome.
Against the fascists, you know? So there we go,
Awesome.
That's my gay pirate story.
I really should just send you money, because I've told you, like, I have your voice in my ears, like, a ridiculous amount of time. I I sometimes fall asleep to your podfics. They're my comfort fic. If I'm not on a plane, I have them on my phone. Yeah, it's great. How about you, Judy? What have you been up to? What have you been gay pirating?
Well, I had a funny Black Pete moment. I ordered my groceries like I do every week because I hate going in the supermarket and shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered, oranges. And I guess I didn't order the right thing because I ended up with like a 30-pound bag of oranges.
Amazing.
What am I going to do with all these oranges? My big kids are in college. My husband travels for work. So it's me and my 14-year-old and 30 pounds of oranges.
Excellent. You're going to have a lot of oranges.
Just got to make lots of orange cake, hey?
I was going to say, you need Roach's a cake recipe, and then you can use up 30 of them.
No scurvy in this house.
That's right. And as for me, I recently moved, and moving sucks. It's the worst. I hope I never have to do it again. I hope this house gets burned around me now, so I don't ever have to move again. Either that or I'll just walk off with nothing, with just the clothes in my back. But finally, after 2 months, I was able to get far enough on the unpacking process where I'm almost done, and I was able to put up all of my art and my posters and my things, and you can see and so I've got my wall of pirate photos and all my Izzies, and I've got my Kiwis that I kiss every night before I go to bed, all hung up and ready to go, and my con pillows and all that good stuff. So things feel great now. I feel like a gay pirate again, and I feel like home.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
Well, let's talk about our darling Blackbeard. What do we know about Blackbeard? What is his backstory? Do we know anything? Because he is a very unreliable narrator. So I think we may know almost as little about him as we do about maybe like the Swede. Him and the Swede are probably the two people that we know the least about.
I think that Pete has zero backstory. I think he did nothing. And then he got on the ship perchance and decided he was a pirate and came up with all these crazy pirate stories because he's not very good at it and he doesn't seem to know what he's doing. So I think Pete has no backstory. He was just like some dude wandering around and decided to be a pirate.
But what was he doing before that then? He must have had a job of some kind.
And that's the thing. We are giving nothing. We're given absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets some sort of like hint as to kind of what they were doing. But Pete, other than his braggart stories, which are obviously just off, we get absolutely nothing from him. And the first thing he wants to do is, let's take over the ship. And I would be a monkey's uncle if that man knows how to sail.
It's kind of a bit like Steed in a way, though. Like, you kind of get the feeling it's more like he like has looked at piracy as this really cool thing for so long, and like he's just inserted himself in there.
And it's one of those, because I think there's the people that have the proper respect, if you will, for piracy, the ones that know that it's hard, that you die quickly, and then there are the ones that idolize it, and Pete is one of them. He's like, oh, I was with Blackbeard and I saved his life, and I can flip, and I have perfect aim, and all these things, and he's just like, this piracy is amazing, I can be the captain, let's me. And
and nobody agrees with him.
And they're kind of like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of an unknowable. I will say he was at the beginning kind of one of my least. It took me a while to love him, just because, you know, that's women's work, and very like almost toxic. He's almost like a representation of toxic masculinity, but a bad one. So he's the closest the show gets. And one of the things I love about the show is that it doesn't pretend that things like racism, toxic masculinity, etc. don't exist. You just get punished for them very quickly, right? And so he doesn't get punished because it's so clearly like a facade, you know. Like he's obviously, he talks about, you know, that's women's work, so he's obviously supposedly contemptuous of women, but you know, like Spanish Jackie would kick his ass.
Yeah, and the thing I really like about that is that he doesn't necessarily believe any of these things. He just thinks that's what you're meant to do. Like, he's a big, like, which is a big thing with toxic masculinity, is that, like, it's, you know, people trying to do what they think they should do rather than think about what they actually want to do in life. You know, it's kind of like that. He thinks you're meant to think it's beneath you to do women's work. So that's, you know, his opinion. But then as soon as the other guys are doing it, he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess
I'll make the best one.
I never had a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's with him, it's definitely an act, and you can tell immediately, and it falls apart very quickly. So what do we love him?
I just think some of the people, including like Lucius, just find him like endearing because they know he's like full of shit.
Yeah, it kind of like when you have a very small dog who like just loves to like just barks a lot, and it's like, come on, what's up? Come at me. And you're like, yes, baby, you're very scary. You're right. That big bull. Like, oh, you would. I know you're protecting me, 10-pound chihuahua. You're great. Yeah. Yes. It's very, very cute. One of the things I love most about, I think Pete does, first of all, starts growing very quickly, and it has one of the biggest season 2 kind of changes, because when it comes time to, when something that matters to him happens, he immediately becomes a caring person. Like Lucius gets sick, he immediately cares. Lucius fingers off, he whittles something, and then all his like braggart energy kind of comes down, and he's like, I made you something. Oh, it's not good though. Oh, you like, you know, he like all of that facade, that ugliness falls apart the second that he really likes somebody. And that's what happens in season 2. I remember I was listening to a podcast where I loved their season 1 episodes, and the season 2 episodes, they basically just shat all over them, and they hated everything about it. And one of the things they pointed out was like, Pete just changes. I go, yeah, because he lost his lover. He's the person he loves. So he's got different priorities now. He, you know, of course he changes. And I love that.
Yeah, because you've got that kind of gap between the seasons too, where he's, like you say, he's he's, lost Lucius, he's kind of got to decide then at that point, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep on like with these guys? And like he's got to he's obviously goes through this development a bit that we don't see, where he's spending months, like living with them and choosing to do that.
Yeah.
I guess is the thing.
And then that he's obviously, the presence obviously sad, but he's also not being a dick about it. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like he's not actively trying to sabotage or saying, hey, I have a better idea or anything. Like all that has fallen off and he's just like...
He does get all the best one on as well, doesn't he?
It does. Oh, look, running water.
Pete had the most, I think the biggest like character development in the entire show, because he's from episode 1 to the last episode in season 2, he's so changed and it's all for the better, really. So that's why he's one of my favorites. And I love Pete. He's definitely in my top 5.
Pete's amazing. Also, like Pete, I hate sleeps. So, I'm with him on that. I either buy sleepless things or I cut sleeves out of things. I'm not a fan. But no, he really is. It's very sweet. He makes no bones about how excited he is to see Lucius. I also, of course, he's the first person that shows us that in this world, this is a polyamorous world. We don't own he's drawn most of us, and he's like, cool. And you see that a lot in fics where Lucius gets with somebody and he just like high fives them and it's like, hey, way to go, babe. And, it's very, and I love that. He's kind of the introduction to that. It's like, this is a world where we don't have that idiotic, monogamous, you belong to me. He dynamic.
He starts out like so intense and he just learns to chill, which is lovely because I would like to learn that myself. He's just so, chill once he hooks up with Lucius. So I guess Lucius is a really good influence. That's the word. Really good influence on him.
His scenes with Lucius are so good in Calypso's birthday, where they come out and they've been out for 24 hours and he's like, we'll avenge them. And Lucius is like, no, we're still in the pre-revenge window and we can do something and we need more knives. And it's just so cute and it's so them. Because Lucius, even though Lucius, I think, would call himself a self-prescribed coward, he's still like, oh no, we're fixing this. And Pete is worried but trying to pretend like he's not. And it's very cute.
Good has said that Matt has all the best one-liners, but one of the things I love about Pete, and of course it's Matt, every single line hits. He never has a dropped line. He never has one that's not funny or that doesn't come across. Matt is like the king of just making every line hit perfectly.
It's just the timing is always like just so good. It's just every time. It doesn't matter how many times you watched him say something. It's like every time it's just hilarious.
There's also physical comedy for him. So one of my favorite moments in, I think, all of the show is when Olawanda, of course, the fighting with Olawanda, hilarious. But when they attack Izzy, Fang, and Ivan, and it's one of those blink you miss it, but Pete comes out of the tree swinging, of course, and he hits Fang and he falls like he hit a tree. And he just goes, boom, and it is just one of the funniest. It's just...
Yeah, I love that too.
I love it so much. But yeah, he's really, really amazing. And of course on that, who do we ship Pete with? We have canon, of course, Lucius. We've got headcanon for everybody in the fandom. What is it? Lu Fang Pete? Is that what? Fang Lu Pete?
Yeah.
Pete, Fang, and Lucius. Do we see him with anybody else?
I don't, just because like he and Lucius are just such like an adorable love story. And he's like totally in love with Lucius, like after the first time we see them get together. So I just can't ship him with anyone else. It's wrong. But anyone else can. No, I'm not shaming anyone else. Just for me, it's like, no. Lucius is his baby.
No, I'm just like such like I mean I'll read anyone with anyone and like ship them whoever, but like they are they are one of my favorite absolute favorite couples, Lucius and Pete. In fact, I was looking at my bookmarks before, and they're my literally my number 2 out of my bookmarks, Lucius. I just think they're so cute. So I just like love to read more like fluffy stuff with them.
Well, you'll see it in my recommendations, but one of the things I love him, and it kind of blends in when why do I love to see Pete doing fics. So I love Pete encouraging Lucius to hook up with other people, including I've read fics with Lucius hooks up with almost everybody. Either go after Fang, obviously, and the Fang, him and Lucius get together. I've seen him encourage Lucius to go after Ed and Steed for threesomes, which I've seen as well. And of course, Izzy. It's Pete encouraging him to go and help Izzy, sleep with Izzy, just basically be with Izzy, which is really sweet. And there's one of the fics that I'm recommending is out of that whole polyamorousness. It's actually Pete and Izzy getting together, just the two of them. So it's they're part of the group still, but like them together as a pairing in that. And I love Izzy with everybody. Izzy's the village bicycle. So but as you said, I'll read anybody with anybody. I love it all.
I do think he's really good in that supportive role, because like Lucius is a real good one for like pairing off with randoms. And like you say, and it is nice when like you've still got that solid relationship that they've got there behind all that, like in the background. I do like that. Especially when you get to have him be a bit silly. Some humor, some Pete humor.
There's another fic that I love that I put down in my recs, but where Lucius and Pete are kind of Ed and Steed's kind of emotional support. And while Lucius is supportive, he's also super sassy and sarcastic, but Pete is just like rock solid, which I really like. And it's a little bit off character for him. You see him a lot more as the, again, embarrassing, like fangirling over Blackbeard kind of thing. But I do like that for him as well. Just being like supportive and sweet.
Yeah.
I do find it funny when like, especially with like modern AUs and stuff where Blackbeard's got some job and like no matter what it is, it's like Pete's his number one fan.
Yes.
And he gets to be obsessed in all different ways when like, he might have like all these collectibles merch or something. He's the biggest subscriber to something.
He wants the tattoos. He wants to be domed. He follows the Twitch stream. That like no matter what it is. Yeah, he's just like,
I love that too. It's like as soon as I see Pete, I'm like, oh, here it's gonna come. What does he know, or how much does he? Even the ones where he just meets him for the first time, after a while, he's like his, trying to be his best friend.
Yeah,
exactly. Like sidling up, like we're gonna be mates, aren't we?
Yeah. There's also, of course, the ones that delve into just his disappointment with Blackbeard having hurt Lucius. I really respected you, man. So there's quite a few fics that deal with him and his kind of, like Blackbeard's kind of fall from grace when he hurts his love,
Mm-hmm.
He also gives Lucius kind of the kick in the pants he needs to help him, between him and Izzy, they kind of help him move on, get a little less upset and obsessed with Blackbeard. So it's both of their, he needs both of their helps to move on, which is great. Very sweet.
Yeah, well, and it's nice that as a character development too, to have him, like he's really obsessed with Blackbeard at the start, but it's Blackbeard as this kind of vague character rather than an actual person. And it is a nice character growth to see that change. And and for him to not actually like the real guy, because of what he's done and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But he also forgives him too, because you never see him, wanting to go after Blackbeard or, after when Blackbeard comes back, he doesn't bother him. So Pete's got a real caring nature, I think. Very forgiving, very kind.
Yeah, and we talked about him kind of acting a part, but because he's one of the ones that looks the most upset when Steed has to dress them up to fool the English. But then when the talent show happens, he's dressed in like full on aristocratic, So like, somebody liked those clothes a bit much, didn't they? He's super cute.
Yeah. Now that it's like safe, he feels like he can just do that and they're not going to tease him or anything.
Yeah, it's super, very, very nice. Yeah, he finds a safe place as well, which is lovely. That's what we love about the show.
One thing that's very interesting about Pete, and I know I said this on somebody else's podcast before, but Pete actually looks and more like what an actual pirate looked like back in the time. He a lot of them had bald or shaved heads because of the heat and the sun beating on them. And a lot of them dressed kind of more like he did, because the only ones who dressed fancy were the ones who stole, the clothes from the other ships. But the, lower level pirates, I guess you'd call them, were very, just plain. They'd wear the pants and just like, the shirt. If you look at, more information of, not Blackbeard or Steve Bonnet or Ned Lowe, some of the, I guess you'd call them regular pirates, they looked and dressed a lot more like Pete than the other characters we see on the show.
Yeah. He's also wait, no, I was gonna say he was back to his original dress, but he doesn't. What he does is he holds on to his blue suit or his blue uniform, which he likes, and he cuts the sleeves off. Of course he does. Which is wonderful.
When I saw that, when I saw the when he was in Zhang's uniform, and then the next thing you know, there's no sleeves, I laughed so hard at that. And my daughter was with me, and when they were getting the naval uniform, she's like, "Oh, please, Pete, please have him cut off the sleeves." And he did not.
Sure enough, they did not disappoint. Yeah. He's like, "Listen, there's getting into disguise, and there's me having to cover the guns. That's not happening."
Maybe one time Lucius said he liked his arms, and then that was it for Pete. He had to always show his arms off.
Could be, yeah, it could be for sure.
Someone should definitely write that.
Yeah. He goes in a sleeve cutting spree. What would we like to see from Pete in season 3, in our upcoming season 3? Any moment now.
We're gonna keep
look, that hope will die with me, okay?
Huh.
Yeah, it's a good question, because it'll be like married life for him now, and yeah, it's interesting if that will change his perspective on things, like having the security of that, with his relationship with Lucius, like, yeah, whether that'll kind of change the dynamic a bit.
I would love to see Pete be a dad. I think he would really be a good dad. Even if it's like a dog dad, or like they get a parrot or something. He seems like he'd be such a good dad and so doting. And that would be so much fun. I'm writing my own fic now that like Lucius hates their parrot, and Pete's like such a like protective, dad, parrot dad, or some kind of animal, and he just loves him so much. And
yeah, and I could see him also again being that double where he's kind of like, yeah, I mean, my kid has to be tough, so I make sure to tough him up, and then you actually turn around and he's like the sweetest, softest dad in the history of everything ever.
Yeah, it's all cuddling
and loving, and yeah, I could definitely see that from Pete. That would be very, very cute. That's excellent. And then if we flip over to our lovely, amazing Matthew, Matt, what do we like to see him in? What do we want to see him in the future? What do we think? I know that recently, and I was sad that we didn't get to do Gay Pirate News Hour, because recently he was in a play in LA. I would love to see him in live theater. That would make me so happy. I met Matthew Meyer, not met in person, but the first thing I ever saw him in was Dogma. He played the holy bartender, spoilers.
There you go.
And I have not met him yet in person, which I was really sad I didn't make it up to Portland when he was there. But I would just like to see him in more things. And like with all of our cast, I would love to see him lead his own. I think he's got the strength to lead his own movie, his own show. He's very funny, and he's very good. He's just a very good actor. So basically, put him in something, folks. He's great. You're missing out on Matthew Maher.
Yeah, I'd love to see him as like a lead in a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could hold that really well, to be honest. Because, like, he's not just good at, like, those one-liners, like you say, and, like, it's, the physical comedy and, like, just reacting to people, and, he's just good at all of that, so it'd be really cool. Fingers crossed.
I'd love to see him, like, be the lead in a rom-com. I think he would really pull that off so well, but, they're all about looks and this and that. I mean, he's totally adorable. But he would be like somebody different, and a rom-com that, could be a little more realistic and, maybe a middle-aged guy and, trying to meet somebody or some, silly rom-com. I think he would just knock that right out of the park if he had the opportunity.
Yeah, because you definitely, especially, I mean, you see it but in Hollywood, you definitely don't see that. Like you said, rom-coms are, super hot people, young. And then if you do see love about middle-aged folks or people who don't look like underwear models, then it's some sort of like depressing look into this person who's like, it's a very dark, like, can you believe this person is looking for love type of thing, which is absolutely gross and terrible. I would love to see Matthew Maher in a rom-com. That would be so sweet.
I mean, he can do it. We saw how he was with Lucius. Their story's a little bit of a rom-com, and he could definitely do it. Just got to get the right, person to put together the right story.
Yeah.
Hello, David Jenkins. Are you listening?
Hello. You know the jewels you have in that cast. Do stuff with them. That's awesome. Is there anything else that we want to talk about when it comes to Pete, Matthew, our hatred of sleeves, anything?
It's one of my family's favorites. So it's, anytime we get oranges, somebody's going to say, are these Christ oranges?
That is Christ oranges.
Yeah, it's, that's, that.
And that is also, by the way, a perfect reading. Like, he just leans into that. He chews that line to that. And these Christ oranges.
Pause in the middle.
So, that's why my username is Judy's Oranges, because I was trying to think of a nice, OFMD name, and at the time my daughter was like 10, and she was like, Mommy, you need to be Judy's Oranges, like Christ's Oranges. So that's how I ended up with my username. But it's
super cute.
Every day. Like, if I tell my son, like, oh, you didn't show up, for this thing we were gonna go pick a Christmas tree, and he said, oh, I didn't even know Christmas trees were happening.
That's amazing.
Oh, you didn't feed the dogs. And one of my kids will say, I didn't even know feeding the dogs was happening.
That's wonderful. I love that.
You've trained them. Every time I rewatch the show, it's just like, he's always such a stand.
Everybody really loves Pete. I've never heard anyone say they hate Pete.
It's true. You haven't Pecco Bass, babe. He's hard to hate. Again, even that the show makes it very clear from the beginning, even when he's saying not so nice things, that he doesn't really mean them, that he's just putting on a facade. And so it makes him very likable very quickly.
It's definitely the way Matt plays him. I mean, I could see someone else playing him and, it not coming across that way, but Matt just does so well that he makes him likable even when he's being a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so we're very lucky. We've got like the best cast. There is not a weak link in that show. There's not one person that's like, let's just keep him kind of to the side because, it turned out they weren't quite as good as we thought. And I think that's part of the thing about season 2, and David Jenkins has talked about how they kept writing kind of as they went, because they put this group together and then all of a sudden they were like, holy smokes, everybody here is amazing. So they're like, we can go wherever we want. We don't have to worry about like hiding. again, hiding anybody who didn't do quite as well, or maybe hiding a lack of chemistry between two actors or anything like that. They could just go to town and just do anything and everything.
Yeah.
It is interesting when you think about the way that they introduce him at the start, like we're talking about, as kind of like the representation of like the toxic masculinity of it and stuff right at the start. But then also that's the first kind of really like overtly gay part of the show is him hooking up with Lucius, you know? And that's very early on, and like so it's kind of interesting that they chose him specifically for both of those things.
Yeah. Were you guys shocked when you saw that? Because I kind of felt like that Lucius, yes, but I thought Pete would be the last person that would like hook up with somebody.
Yeah, so Lucius is from the beginning, they make no bones like this. And because I watched it late and the thing that was like all the gay pirate show, I went, oh, Lucius is our token. Like, that guy must be gay because he does the things that people consider to be gay, or he acts like the stereotypical gay person or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's my gay. There it is. And then, yes, episode 3 comes around. Episode 4 comes around, and also Peter coming out of that. And I just went, ah! And you're right. Of everybody in that boat, I think that was the most the shocking pairing, and super cute about it. No toxic masculinity there. No like, what? We were just, No, he was really like, yeah, we were, absolutely. It's great.
And just leaning into that awkward morning after.
That was fun.
Not knowing how to finish.
Very good. And it's just so good. It's just so... so good.
And he's so smitten with Lucius, like right away after that first hookup. That was like a failed hookup because they hooked up and he was like instantly in love.
So there's very, very, very sweet. And again, just the caring, I made you a finger, or kind of looks like a thumb, never mind. And, oh, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. Oh, well, yeah. No, actually, that's it. Like, it's just so cute. It's like so, I don't know, it felt so organic, so like exactly what would happen, you know?
Like a teenage crush kind of thing. There was a bit of that in there, you know? Like, I don't know what to do with myself now.
You're like, crap, I'm not pulling it off. I think it's just very, it's just so sweet.
First love.
Yeah, so lovely.
Yeah, that's definitely how it comes across, isn't it? Which I guess goes into, we don't know anything about his backstory. I mean, who knows if he's, had any actual, like, romantic, like, relationships with people, or whether it's, because he kind of acts a bit like he doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't he? A lot like with piracy, he like kind of acts like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to pretend I do.
So cute, so good. All right, well, now that we've gushed over all over this, do you want to talk about some of our Fic Recs? I'll let you go first because I think you have more than I do and more specific to Pete.
I just went to my bookmarks to find some of my Lou Pete bookmarks. And yeah, I mean, most of the story that's like specifically Pete is because it's Pete and Lucius like as the main kind of thing, and they're usually just like little fluffy short things. But I do have a couple to suggest. One actually I've done a podfic of, so regular listeners may have already heard that because I'm pretty sure we put it on once on the podcast, and that's Municipal by Mistercrystal. That one is really cute. It's a modern AU, and basically Lucius is like, his garden is a mess, and Pete has to tell him off because he works for the county. And instead he like is so enamored with him that he like goes and helps him clean up the garden instead, so cute. So that he doesn't have to find him. So cute. Anyway, that one's adorable, and yeah, there's a podfic of that that I did. That I think, I'm pretty sure we have an episode of that. If you go search in the podcast, I'm sure it'll be there. Because it's just adorable. And what's another one? So I've got a whole. This is the problem. I have quite a few But I'm just trying to pick out the ones that are like specifically Pete like focused, you know.
I'm a bad Pete fan because I love him so much, but I don't think I've ever read a Pete fic. It's just always he's one of the characters or incidental. I guess I should get on that at some time, but I have so many tabs open to all these different fics, and I'm a bad fic. But I shouldn't even be on this podcast because I'm just
You write fanfics. You're the reason why people like me get to read fanfics.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, yeah, I've got another good one here that's not as Pete focused. It's a Lucius one shot Christmas theme. It's very cute. It's called It's the Season, and in brackets, Merry Christmas Everyone. It's by Caladria, who's an awesome writer. And it's this cute one shot that's like Lucius's perspective on like their little Christmas thing. And there's like some cute, like, there's a bit of Izzy Lucius and a bit of Pete Lucius. And
Aww.
it's, really cute. It's them all, it's all the whole crew getting together. Yeah. So you see what I mean? I really like reading the really fluffy.
Yes, I love that. Well, the two that I've got, so there is Inked Archive wrote a series called Lucius's Sketchbook, and it talks about, it covers a lot of different, like Lucius, Izzy, Pete, Fan, kind of like a whole mix there. And the Art of Love is the one where basically Pete and Izzy, who have always been kind of part of it, but always with Lucius, with somebody else there, they finally kind of hook up by themselves. So that's super cute, super horny, obviously, because it's me, so it's just porn, but it's beautiful. And then I have so many where it said Pete is a person that provides the support for Lucius to hook up with Izzy, either be it as just a hook up, which is rare. This fandom is usually like, there's always something behind it. We put depth in things. Or, you know, if Lucius is having second thoughts or is worried that Izzy doesn't actually love him because he's, of course, emotionally constipated, etc. Pete is always there to support him. But the one that I picked is just one. It's just that really basically like someone needs to go fuck that dude because he needs to relax. And Pete is like, come on, Lucius, let's do this. He likes you. You want him. Let's go. It's called Hidden Depths by Tardigrape. So those are the two that
sounds great.
that I have.
That sounds good.
All right. And that brings us to the end of our Black Pete episode. We love him. We want to see more of him. So speaking of seeing more, what are you all up to? What are you doing? How's life? Where are you? Where can people find you if they so choose, if you want to be found?
I am Judy's Oranges pretty much everywhere. I'm a newbie fic writer. I guess it's been a year, so maybe not newbie. And I
was gonna say newbie, but compared to what the
you've written a lot.
The age of the earth, I suppose. Yes.
Yeah. My very first fic, which Gudis is my beta reader for, is like 150,000 words, which I don't know where that came from. And then I have a couple of short ones, and I have a new one I'm working on that I think people might like. But and I do podcasts and chit chat with people. And we were talking about this earlier, and my mom died this week. Which has been very conflicting because we didn't have a very good relationship. But so that's been kind of stressing me out. And funnily enough, I've been just pounding it into finishing up my fic, softer and gentler, wiser, free. It just like kind of, I don't know, I'm just writing to distract myself. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's my latest trauma.
Well, I'm so glad that fanfic writing is kind of there for you in that aspect, Judy. It's great.
Yeah, all of this crew, I have to just shout out. Everybody's been so kind, and when my mother was dying, and I mentioned it, so many people sending like hugs, and so many call me, DM me if you need to talk. How are you? Everybody's been so wonderful. It's funny, we talk about this crew, But the crew has been more kind and concerned and interested in what's happening to me than my own relations. So once again, I just have to shout out that I love you guys. Everybody is just amazing in this group. I don't know how so many wonderful, amazing, kind people have all ended up in the same place. And I'm getting a little verklempt, but I'm so glad everyone is. It's just lovely.
Well, we love you, Judy, and this is what the magic of the show and it's done. It's brought people that have formed family. We're family. There's just no other word for it. And I know for me, it's also been an amazing group of people to be around, even when I don't say as much just because I'm busy adulting, which I hate to do, but I'm always reading and I'm always, always involved, and I love you all as well. Yeah. How about you, Lucius?
Yeah, it's good you've had a bit of, it's good you've had a bit of support from us all, but that's good. We got to stick together, don't we? So what is my AO3 is Cheesecake 3. If you haven't, you haven't checked that out before, then I guess you can go check that out. Because I'm still doing my podfics, and I'm working. I should probably tell everyone on here in case they aren't aware, is that I started a kind of crazy project at the start of the year, which is doing a big collab with a bunch of podfickers to do Sing For Me by Pastor of Muppets, which is this quite long fic, 27 chapters, and we're podficking it all with music. So it's a big project, and there's 4 chapters up at the moment, and hopefully 5 by the time you guys are listening to this, because that 5th one's taking a lot of work. But yeah, we're still on track. We're gonna try and get it all done by the end of the year. So yeah, that's my big project for the year, is doing all that. And so yeah, that's under my AO3, and we've got it on a couple of places, but it's not on my Spotify. So if you follow my podcast feed thing, you probably won't see it there. So you got to go to AO3. But yeah, so that's me. And yeah, you can always find me everywhere else as Mystic Trash Moon.
Good. And Judy and I have signed up for that project, so we'll be making appearances in that podfic and doing a little singing. So
yes,
I'm excited.
Oh, and I have the best character of all.
That's right.
That's right. You
want to spoil it?
It's up to goodness.
I'm sure everyone can guess. No, you tell them. But I mean, given the topic,
I'm playing Black Pete. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yay!
That's excellent. And I was so casual. I was like, oh, I guess I can play Black Pete. Not like I was like, I want to play Black Pete.
I figured I would volunteer my Spanish speaking in case there's Spanish lines, and I volunteered to be Jim, so I will be your Jim later on.
Perfect casting. Perfect casting.
So, it's right. I feel like we went for the easy one. And for myself, I am Perilous and Wicked on the metas and on Tumblr, which I barely ever go around, but I do have one. Perilous and Wicked on Blue Sky and the non-metas. On the metas, I'm Bella Saltenbank. I'm also under Whiskey Tango Foreigner, both in Spotify and AO3 with my podfics as well. I finally, after the move, got my equipment all set up a couple of weeks ago and was able to finish one more chapter of the ever-patient Clans Phantom's Late Blooms, and I'm only 2 chapters away from finishing, and I'm almost done recording the second to last chapter, so I'm making progress finally. Once I was able to unpack and find everything. And that's what I've been up to, moving, and it's been getting in the way of things, but hopefully I'll be able to do some more of this and some more of everything else as a way to distract us all from the madness that is the world. I've said many times before, I've decided to basically weaponized happiness and weaponized cheer, and no matter what they try to do, and no matter how much they try to fuck the world until I get blown up by a nuclear missile, I will be happy, goddammit, no matter what. And I will be cheerful, and I will provide entertainment, I will laugh. I will go down laughing.
Best way to be.
So that's me. And that does it for our Blackbeard episode. We actually managed to keep it fairly contained. I'm actually very proud of us. This one was very quick because we just loved him, and that's basically all I had to say, that we loved him so much. So it's great. If you love Blackbeard, you can always reach out to us. If you love anybody, if you hate Blackbeard, you can reach out to us too. We don't gatekeep. The show is under Our Flag Means Fanfiction at gmail.com for email, plus Our Flag Means Fanfiction in all the socials. Talk to us, come be part of the supporting, loving group. If you have any ideas for podcasts, talk to us. If you want to make your own podcast episode and send it to us, we can do that. If you had podfics you want us to feature, like we feature Judy's and Goodis's and mine, talk to us. We want content. We want you to be part of us. And that'll do it for us. Until next time, do creations, be cringe, commit crime. Bye!